U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Bears take over first down 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Throw left side complete. That's Ross. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. A gain of 22. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Fields over the middle, complete. That's Ross. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
To John Ross. A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. They find some open field here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. red zone now. They'll look to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you've got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back, because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Montgomery is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Santos with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0.
Bears 7, Vikings 0.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and given the first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. The Vikings had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action. Cousins. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Bears are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Fields going to keep it once more. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw. When they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations, ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Dancing away at the 35. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give running right is Montgomery. Trucks over him. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. A pickup of 2 brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. John Ross. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns. Now the point after try for Santos. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bears 14, Vikings nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Cousins now. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark it down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Cousins. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bears take over.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And this offense on third down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap, Fields. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here comes Rager. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play fake. Cousins. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Cook. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Throwing, Cousins. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The sack by Robert Quinn.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are back within a score. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This this game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, little momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Throwing on second and long. Fields. And he's out right at the 25. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And Booth picks it off. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, Cousins. It's caught. Smith. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
First down, Irv Smith, a partner. It just feels like this is his year because you remember him as a second-rounder in 2019, and he had to share the starting job at tight end in his first 2 seasons. After almost 700 yards and 7 touchdowns, the job is truly his here in Minnesota.
Cousins on first down. That is caught by Thielen. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. For their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. A final shot before the break. Fields. Throw downfield, going to be be taken in by Harry. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Now Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 39, Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety back.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Here's Brett Kern now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this returnable for Rager. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding hard right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing is Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion or would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Down inside the 10. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And some room to roam now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Fields. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. He's got room past the 30. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Play action, Fields. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Oh, he's got some. And now off to the races down the right side. Trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Herbert. will score. Touchdown, Chicago. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Fair catch. The Vikings take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Muscle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. He'll take this to the 46. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. This goes out wide from Madison. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
So 3rd down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. Cousins to throw it. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Joseph connects on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Pettis now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On first down, it's Fields. Going deep downfield for Ross. And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Bears are right back in this football game. The Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
2nd and 5 now. Fields. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Going deep for Montgomery. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him to completion.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
From the 24, Cousins. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a hole to avoid the contact. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a third down. They'll come out in the pistol. Fields going to hold on to it. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
Fair catch near the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you. Interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond. Not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
How many more of these my heart can take, my man? I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together, make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.